entrepreneurship is the art of converting an idea or a concept from nothing into something. Can be done, and I've seen it done. When I took over the Demerara Distillers Group, it was not a group, it was a company, going back to 1975. It was a company almost in bankruptcy. We had to convert that. There's one company, then later on 2 others came into the fold, and today it's one of the most outstanding success stories of the distiller in the Caribbean. I don't know how many of you have heard of the brand El Dorado. Brand El Dorado is the only name that is known outside of Guyana. That was created as a result of some thoughts we had when we started putting aside rums for aging for more than 5, then 15, 20, 25 years. It has been a huge success story. And today, that company has grown from very humble beginnings to one of the giants of the Caribbean. And from that offshoot came Demerara Shipping. We have a shipping company. We also have Distribution Services Limited, that is that we distribute products of not only our local production, because we're in several other products. We do Pepsi-Cola, 7-Up Slice for Pepsi-Cola, Tropicana, and several other products. And then we do our own soft drinks, beverages, Soca, Diamond Sparkling Mineral Water. We also have a company in the area producing fresh fruit juices using local fruits in a Tetra Pak plant, one of the most updated plants in the Caribbean. So I'm not going to say much more than that on Demerara Distillers. It has come a long way. We have subsidiaries in St. Kitts, in Canada, the US, and in Europe, in Holland. Our headquarters for Europe is in Holland. And that distributes throughout Europe. We're also setting up an office in India that is already there, but India is not an easy place to do business. It takes a long, long time to get anything established. The bureaucracy and the very, very many problems one has to face, it's not easy. Now, coming from the West Indies or the Caribbean or South America, it's a lot easier, although there are difficulties too. But you've got to circumvent those difficulties and get on whatever business you're in. Now, one of the other businesses I formed from nothing, zero, is IPED. And that is the Institute of Private Enterprise Development. In the 80s, we had a president called Forbes Burnham, and he had many ideas. One of his big ideas was to create what you call cooperatives. And the name of the country was changed from when we became independent, Guyana, and in 1970 we became a republic. It was changed to the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. The whole country was to become cooperatives. It was a colossal failure. And when that failed, the successor was Hugh Desmond Hoyt as president. I can recall going to see him. The country was bankrupt. I went to see him and I said, Mr. Hoyt, sir, I have an idea, concept. Would you object to it? So I gave him the idea. I want to start the Institute of Private Enterprise Development. That is to help entrepreneurship, to develop entrepreneurs and small business all over there. And he started and he said, Yesu, look by, in raw language, you know we bankrupt, we ain't got money. You got to go find the money. Well, I took the challenge. I went out, I discussed with some friends, and after that, with about a staff of one, no cash, I was able to raise some funds at the Pegasus Hotel where we had a fundraising activity. I was able to get Hugh Desmond Hoyt, the president, to come and speak. And after that, I started cajoling my friends and others in the Caribbean, North America, and in Europe, because I was pretty well known by then. And we raised $1 million, Guyana dollars, which is not much. We started from that. Today, IPED is one of the stars of not only Guyana, but the whole of the Caribbean. We employ 80 people, mostly professionals, right across the country, where we have our own offices in Georgetown, in Essequibo, and Berbice. We employ, not employ, I would say, we started 40,000 business over the years, and that's over 40,000 people. And most of those people are today self-employed. So I'm not going to go much more than that. It has been highly successful. And it's today totally self-financing. We don't have any debts. We have a surplus of something like $10 million US in the bank. So that's one. Second one is Demerara Bank. When I conceived the idea there was a need for an indigenous private sector bank, people thought I was crazy. They said to me, look, you're a chartered accountant man. How are you going to start a bank? Are you ready for banking? I said I know enough banking because I spent some time in England, some time in Canada, and I worked with a man in England called Jesus, also in Guyana. He was a financier. I know enough of that, and that will see me through. The share capital needed was $2.5 million. I put out a private prospectus, was able to raise $4.5 million. It was oversubscribed, more than double. But I decided we'll keep the money. Because starting something from scratch, you've got to really do business. But I selected all the right shareholders. We were able to purchase a building, set up our bank, and for the first year we made a small profit. And thereafter, the profits have been going up year after year. From scratch, today, Demerara Bank, started in '94, has branches in all three of the counties, in Essequibo, Berbice, Demerara. We opened one at Diamond, and it's three banks competing on the same square. Ours cost the less, but is the most impressive when you're coming from Georgetown. When you're coming from Georgetown, going down to the airport or the airport to Georgetown. And that was done at a less cost than the other two there. So indeed, it has been highly successful. And when I left, I had to do the annual report of Demerara Bank. And our profits was almost $1 billion this year, starting from nothing, 980 million. So indeed, I try to start and get moving from one to the next. So entrepreneurship is what is possible and what is not. Nothing is impossible. It depends on you yourself, confidence in yourself, and confidence in the people you employ. If you could do that and you could get people imbued with the spirit of working together for the common good, when you're a long way on to becoming successful. In my book, nothing is impossible. We are what we make ourselves. We're not born to be anything. It's what we do that makes us what we are. Otherwise, it will remain at the bottom of the ladder all the time. So if you want to get up and help yourself, it can be done. And I'm going to end with a quotation also from the Vedas, or from one of the holy books of the ancients, I would call them Hindus, ancient people who really gave the world so much. Vasudeva Kutam Atam. This whole world is one happy family. And if we could all think that way, well, this world would be a better world. So yes, let's make this world a better world. And I could see the transformation that's taking place. And my colleague to the right started off by saying, these same cave cutters, or the lowly people from the Gangetic Plain, mostly from Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, some from Madras, who left to work on those sugar estates, have produced some of the most shining stars in the world. And they started from nothing to where today they're all over the world, and they're teaching what we could do to make this world a better place. Thank you very much.